This is the second video in my series of the best albums of 2023. I'm dividing them up by genre this year, and this video will be dealing with melodic death metal. I only have 5 albums to talk about. I think after this, all the videos will be top 10s as opposed to top 5. So let me not waste any more time and get right into this.
Whose mental and physical powers were developed to the absolute peak of human perfection.
Coming in at number 5 is Orbit Culture with The Descent. This was another band I didn't have a chance to do a full review of, but they were mentioned in my best metal albums of August video, and it came in at number 10. So for that reason, I have them on this list. I guess this one is a little different. I think it's leaning more towards the band In Flames as opposed to some of the other bands that will be mentioned. They are a melodic death metal band, but they also have this groove metal sound as well. But don't get me wrong, they can get heavy and they can also get atmospheric, and they have both the harsh and clean vocals. And there's also softer breakdowns and the atmospheric sections with different instruments like violins. I've been listening to the song From the Inside a lot just because it's one of the catchier songs. There are some slower and atmospheric stuff as well. For example, the song Through Time is pretty good. Overall, it's another album I didn't pay much attention to at first, but upon re-listening, I thought it was very good and deserving of this list. And let me also mention they just released a 3-song EP, which was today as of the date I'm recording it, and that was pretty cool as well.
And took it to an orphanage. As the years went by and the child grew to maturity,
Me at number 4 is October Tide with The Cancer Pledge. This was one of those albums that came out not too long ago. I think it was the same weekend as that Prong album, and I just decided to listen to it and review it. And actually, I like it. You know, what's interesting about this band is that they have members who were originally in Catatonia. And if you remember, Catatonia released an album that was earlier this year. And it's not on this list because I actually didn't like it back then, and I listened to it again and I still didn't like it that much. But I'm talking about this album, The Cancer Pledge. It's really good. It's a nice mix of sounds. We got songs like Unprecedented Aggression. We got, that sounds like melodic black metal. We have The Cancer Pledge. It's more like a melodic song. Then we have songs like A Season of Arson, which has like a darker and more of a black metal sound. I thought it was a pretty good album and definitely worth making this list.
Ray smashed the famous Tower Bridge, hurling cars.
Coming in at number 3 is Kalmah with their self-titled album. This is an album I didn't review when it came out. I guess it didn't catch my attention. I mentioned it in my Best Metal Albums of May video, but it only came in at number 13 for that particular month. So I wasn't completely blown away with it at first, but as I was listening to all of the melodic death metal albums, this one, I guess it clicked with me. I just enjoyed it a lot more than some of the other albums, and for that reason I have it on this list. I think this can be compared more to a band like Insomnium, which has that old school death metal sound and a lot of melodic guitar riffs. I like the song Veil of Sin, has that like folk metal style guitar riffs. I like No Words Said Enough. This one has soft violins and the piano in the atmosphere, and overall was really good. I like it a lot more now than I did before. I didn't really pay much attention to it when it first came out, but it's here. It's on this list, so it's a really great album. Coming in at number 2 is Insomnium with Anno 1696. This was another album released fairly early in the year, back in February. It's kind of a concept album talking about the year 1696. There was a lot of famine and witch hunts and cannibalism and a pandemic and very dark times. It's a solid album. I think it's a little darker than a typical melodic death metal album, and the band also has some more elements of black metal, doom metal, folk metal. you get like a nice mix. It was another one that I listened to again, and I wanted to revisit it, and it was really good. I like the single White Christ. It has some great guitar riffs and choir vocals. I like the song Lillian. Another single, it was a heavier song. There's some good non-singles like The Witch Hunter. That was one of the darker songs of the album. That one was cool. I like the acoustic guitars and atmospheric sounds in this one. Overall, a great album, and it held up very well. Coming in number 1 is In Flames with Foregone. It's an album that people were worried about because In Flames is one of the pioneers of melodic death metal, but the sound has changed over the years. The albums released prior to this weren't as good as their earlier ones, but they released the first single called State of Slow Decay. That was back in June of 2022. And people, once they heard that, like they kind of like calmed down because they were afraid this was going to be another bad album. But this single, it was a great song, and let us know that this is going to be a good album. So the album came out at the beginning of the year on February 10th, and it has held up very well. I listened to it again, and it's just really great and enjoyable. I really like State of Slow Decay. I like Meet Your Maker. And they have the 2-part songs, Foregone, parts 1 and 2. Those were the singles, but the non-singles towards the end of the album are still very good. I really like Dialogue in B-flat minor. That starts with a classical intro, but it transitions to like a classic death metal sound with chunky guitar riffs. And has a mix of classical music, acoustic guitars, death metal, and just it all sounds very good. It's a solid album. That's why I have it ranked right here at number 1. So that is all. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite melodic death metal albums. Here are the full reviews. They're going to be right around here. And of the ones that I did, of course. Thanks for watching. Please like the video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment, and all that good stuff. I will see you in the next one.